Welcome back to Satisfactory. I am just loving the way this recycling area looks. All right, it's integrated nicely into the rest of the place. We're gonna have to come back and do some decoration, but we've got our packaged fuel unpacker. We've got our circle of refineries to do the recycling. And then over here is basically where we're gonna store the results. So let's get into it. Last time we left off, I mean, we set up a whole bunch of stuff last time in a 2-hour extravaganza. Now I think it's time for us to go ahead and start flipping the switches on this thing. Let's see, what are you trying to build? Rubber. All right, so we need to find where we stop doing settings. Pretty sure this one's going to be the one. Yep. Okay. So this guy needs plastic, which is good timing because we need to get rid of some plastic off of our line here. Now we're sending some plastic in. And I'm just checking to make sure that we are where we think we are. And you know what? I could probably just go ahead and give some of these guys a little bit of the stuff they're looking for. And remember, a good chunk of this, the recycling itself is 3/4 plastic, 1/4 rubber. Because we have rubber coming off of the heavy oil residue recipe. Oh, wait a minute. This one wants plastic. This one wants rubber, so we need to swap this. And just so we can have things running a little bit. Oh, we haven't connected the fuel down here yet. It's another thing we need to worry about. Rubber and rubber. I think we're still good for rubber. All right. I think we're about where we need to be. And this first quarter at least is working correctly. It's a nice mix of rubber and plastic going in. All that rubber is already built and ready to go. Then it comes out on this side doubled. But I think what we know we need to do is to pull off the belt at least one extra time. We're pulling off the belt here to get things out to storage. It might make sense to do something like that somewhere else. But first, let's just get everything hooked up. We might have enough. All right, it looks like all of our fuel's been connected. This is actually more or less this is running. It's not perfect because we're not pulling enough stuff off the belt quite yet. So we'll think about that here in a second. But all the lights are green except for a few of the yellow lights, which just means that those don't have the stuff to work. They don't have the recycled material. And that's just because the manifold needs to fill up, right? Because we basically set each one of these machines at 100% fill before the next machine gets even one unit. And we're doing that just to make this belt, we're trying to get this belt to be as maximized as possible, right? As a single belt running, what do I have here? 39 machines? There's really no way to make full use of this, but if we, you know, well, actually, no, it's not that bad. 30 times 39. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. Once the first ones get filled up, we'll have to think about the rest of this, though, because that just means that the way it's currently set up, we're only going to get half of this. Oh, wait. That's how we solve it. By injecting some of the output back into the input layer. Right. I'm back. So if we take that and divide by 2, yeah, one belt can easily handle that. Looks like we're jammed up a little bit. Well, let's take a little peek at our output. Totally full on the rubber side. So what I want to do here, I honestly don't know how many belts of rubber and or plastic we're really literally going to have access to. let's say 4 each. All right, so this is going to be the pickup side, and I feel confident that 2 industrial storage containers worth of rubber and or plastic is always going to be enough. We're never going to need more than that for things that we need out of the build gun. But if we put a couple more industrial storage containers for future builds on the future build lines, that might be a different situation. Look at that fuel. I'm loving this exchange here. Packed fuel going in, empty canisters coming out. Getting all unpacked in here. And now we're starting to see some movement on this side of the game. Rubber's coming in. We're filling up our first machines. Now we're having trouble of exiting, but I think we should have solved that. Oh. Yeah, that's the danger of this. One of these is... I am a little perplexed as to why this is locked up like this. You would think the output would be there regardless, but I guess what it's saying is that in trying to release one item from this, because each one of these splitters has its internal buffer, as you can see here, there are 9 rubber inside of it. I wonder if I got rid of this and then put it back, would that be enough? No. I mean, the other... I might need a higher level splitter to do this. I could split off earlier. But look at that. So weird. I'm sure this is a graphical issue. It doesn't help. Yeah, graphical issue. Okay, we're gonna have to do some additional pulls off the belt here at this location. Let me just remember the craziness that I ended up doing here. All right, I think this is the right one. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put down a merger right here. And we can pull it off a little bit. And we'll just drop you right in there. And I know my desire was to have plastic on this side. So we need to pull some plastic off the belt here. All right, so we need to merge this side. And then we need to smart split this side. pull some stuff off the belt here until we loosen up. And let's also make sure that all that's working the way we want it to work. Okay. I think we've loosened that up a little bit. You know, my temptation right now is to put in a... Do I want to put that inside or outside? Or just put one of these little awesome sinks in place just to make sure that things will run on a consistent basis. And I think what I want to do here is basically just a pure overflow smart split. So by syncing all of that, if our internal belt overflows, then we know for a fact, at the very least, our internal belt will continue to flow. And it doesn't hurt to get some extra points out of it. All right, this definitely loosened up the process a little bit here. Then I think over here, we should do another super awesome double back of resources. Wait a minute. You don't have access to fuel? What's going on there? Let's check and see what's going on with our unpacking tower here. That one's got basically a full flow rate. Looks like so does that one. That one not as much. I put glass in on two sides of this thing, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get in here. I mean, this one is rocking. I mean, they're making 60 per minute. Man, if I remembered how many of these I put in, that'd be great. Let's just ramp it up here. We'll ramp up 2 of these. I mean, however much I plan to unpack, it looks like it's being unpacked. I wonder... Let's take a look at our storage. Full storage times 2. Well, now that's a problem. I've got 2 pipes. That's 1,200. I should not have fuel problems. And the fact that it's 0 on this one tells me it's something different. Like there's a misconnected pipe or something. I'm gonna reconnect these. Oh, wait a minute. Do I see the problem? I do. Right there. Pipes, man. Okay, well, problem solved. I could just rip. Let's just rip everything off the belt here. Once we find a piece of belt that'll actually deal with it. So we'll just try to rip a chunk of material off of the belt over there in an overflow situation. Then we'll put it on the outer skirts of this. One, two, 3. 1, 2, 3. How many of these did I miss? Oh, this one's in the... This one's in the pillar. I didn't even have a chance of getting that one right. And we'll just put a wall up here. No one has to know. It'll be our secret. All right. It might make sense to do what I did again one more time. Looks like this is actually the dead zone at this point. Stuff is moving out here. Well, that's a lot of plastic coming out. I think I'm gonna rip the plastic off a little sooner. Right in here. We're going to rip all the plastic off here, and then we're going to send the rest to overflow. And then I am taking some of it back into the main line, but at least that way it's half as much. Just trying to loosen up this belt here a little bit. When you're in your hovercraft, the range of your E is a lot farther, so probably did that so you could get to industrial storage containers or things like that much easier. It's a reasonable adjustment. Okay, so now we're not making enough rubber. But this side, we're absolutely filled with plastic. We're pretty close, though. I could come in here. Let's rip off a selection of just the rubber. Yeah, I tried. Now, why would I try to put a smart splitter in there? I need a merger. But I need it further back. We'll send rubber out this way. And we'll send rest to overflow. All these machines are already making rubber, so ripping a little bit of it off to make more plastic, I think makes good sense. This side of the belt's working nice. Things are flying. We're a little slowed down in this area. I think this is done. Okay. We went from, I don't know, to basically done. We're probably burning a little too much. And you know what? We probably don't. I mean, we're probably at the point where we don't need any more containers. If I'm going to keep this, I could probably set it down to like 10 per minute. Just in case there is some sort of weird situation. And then I think the rest of this, it's still spinning up. Like these machines still need rubber. We're sending rubber in though. Oh. We totally... Oh, here we go. I'm only using half the rubber. Ah, that's probably where I'm having fuel problems. Half the machines are backed up, and the other half are working. There we go. Oh, they're not going to let me connect them that close together. I mean, it's possible that this is correct. And let's go over here and grab some of this rubber and do a little hand feeding. Once the internal storage of each machine reaches full capacity, then we'll start to kick off additional end product. Yeah, right now all the machines are ripping the rubber pretty hard. I think I'm gonna put in a little steel right here. We'll leave it to any. So half the rubber will get taken, the other half will just stay. There you go. A little extra rubber for the team to sort of make use of before destruction. We'll just burn plastic mostly at that point. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Kind of studying the belts to see if they're being fully utilized. I'm considering that maybe they aren't, but considering that these inputs are flowing freely, that, well, no, it's going up. It's going to fill up again. Where did we rip off that extra rubber? Maybe we should do a little right here. You know, we both know that this belt's going to be way too long. It's driving underwater. Much better. That's pretty close to one rubber and one plastic, which is, well, actually we want, what do we want? Two rubber to one plastic would be the actual ratio that we're shooting for here. It's not too bad. It's not too far off. It's getting there. I'll go back and we'll have to make some tweaks to the injection points and to maximize those ratios, but good number of green lights. This is probably requiring rubber. Oh, short on fuel. Surprised to see that. Huh, okay, well. Let's do a little investigation on that. My guess is that these machines are... Ooh, we've got some down here that aren't running at full capacity. It's having trouble getting the packed fuel out. Okay, let's see here. 60 per Mark IV, so that's already a problem. And there's what? Four, 5, 12 of these. Ew. Well, we obviously need a faster belt than 4. I already did that, though. Yeah, we took care of all that down here. Aha. Missed a little piece of belt there. Now we're shipping fuel. Max speed. Ow. So rude. I mean, 10 per minute's probably too many at this point. Let's just do 1 per minute. It's there mostly for ceremonial purposes. It looks like my expectation is that some of the rubber from here is going to go straight into storage or be used further down the line. Here's what we'll do. We'll merge you in over here. Why did I put a splitter in here? It's a weird placement for that. Let's see if we can try to line this up. Now that's a solid amount of stuff being produced. Holy moly. We've got the stores for rubber look really good. So as we move forward, we're going to try to leverage rubber recipes more than plastic recipes whenever possible. But I think that's pretty good. All of our... Yeah, these machines are now looking a lot greener. I could have sworn I put 75% of these as make plastic machines. I'm just surprised by the lower level amount of plastic that I'm seeing. These are all Mark V pieces, though. So it's not a speed issue. Oh, at the last minute, I am dumping this back out into production. That's what it is. So now most of it's gonna, well, I have the opportunity to go to the full belt, right? So the problem is right now I only have one belt's worth of plastic and one belt's worth of rubber. And it's kind of close to that for use down the line. And it can't be any more than that because we only have one belt connected here. And then we've got this little temporary buffer, which means we can use a little extra. But long term, that's still really not something that's going to be workable. But that's pushing one belt on each side being pulled off. And you think about it, it should probably be more than that, right? If I looked at... Okay, so if I have 39 machines times 30, it should be closer to 2 belts that I'm pulling off. So we might have to come back and make another pull somewhere over here. But we'll worry about that when we actually need the additional supplies. Okay, I think that's pretty close. I'll go back and paint those blue in a minute. All right, so that's a pretty cool complex. Right, the oil gets pumped in right there. Gets turned into heavy oil residue and rubber right here. We're using one of the crater lakes to pump up water. The heavy oil residue and water and some containers get combined to make packaged fuel. Well, we do pack the water, then we pack the fuel. The packaged fuel runs over to our unpacking tower. The containers come back out. They get recycled. The fuel comes out of here, and then it gets circulated in our circular recycler, turning plastic into rubber and rubber into plastic. And then we take currently one belt out of the system. And then we can use that for our next stuff. It's pretty cool. I think that's a good one. Good place to stop. We did 2 hours yesterday, so just over an hour today. I think that's a good chunk. And we more or less completed this. I'm going to have to come back in a future video and decide how I want to design this up. But first, I want to see exactly if we need to have 2 belts for plastic and 2 belts for rubber before we do all that. So we might move on to our next item, our next factory. But we'll see. It'll be a surprise. Thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.